Hat Day. This has been so fun working on creating for you of the band camp this year. And so here's a crazy hat for today, but I'm going to take it off so that I can talk with you and use my hands and not worry about it falling off. Today, campers and friends, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips and tricks that I have found over the years for conducting. We're going to just touch on them, and we're going to talk about selecting a baton, the pattern, the beat pattern, and then starting to look at the score, the conductor's score. So let's start with choosing a baton. Those of you that know me know that I keep several. I have a whole host of them, and I have found, even though I have lovely, beautiful colored batons, that they have these great ornate ends to them, that the people that I conduct prefer me to use a crazy colored, neon colored baton. So what I did is I took one of my nice batons and I painted it this neon pink because everybody liked my other neon pink one. So I've even got a neon green one. But honestly, the thing that you want to look at when you are selecting a baton is how is it balanced. And if you take it, and this one has a wood rather than graphite shaft, if you put it right here, it should balance. And this one's not as balanced as some of my others. Let's try our neon one here. Take a look at that. There we go. So it should balance right there. The other thing that you want to check is sizing and how long, because you can see ones that are short, medium, and there's some that are actually quite long. Well, what's really a good length? If you take it and put it by your elbow, kind of into your hand, to your palm, that's probably a good length. Mine's just a wee bit longer, but I find that this works for me. And then the grasp, how do we grasp it? I usually use my pointer finger and thumb and just gently wrap around it. You never want to hold it with a stranglehold, even if you're nervous, which happens, although you don't want to lose it. And some of you may have been in the band when I've conducted and it goes flying, so that means I was holding it too loosely. But that is the grip that we like to use, okay? So selecting a baton, something that's balanced, something that fits from your elbow to your palm, something that you can feel comfortable with and happy with, grasping. Let's go on to the beat patterns. If you've been in band camp before, we've done these before. Sometimes in our regular music books, they even show this in our lesson books. But we're going to start with a 4 pattern. And if I'm going to put my back to you a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start with a 4 pattern, and we have 4 beats that we want to express to the band or to the ensemble. It goes down. Down is always, always 1. So that if people are lost, they know that when you go down with the beat, that's beat 1. So it's 1, then across your body is 2, and out to the side is 3, and up is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but you can actually have fun playing along, if you will, by using a pencil. Just go ahead, get a pencil from someplace, and go ahead, and you can even rerun this recording so that you can play along and be able to do this. And so 1, across your body, out and up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I'm doing it to you, that's how you see it in the band. That's why I'm turning my back. Now, number 3 beats rather, in a beat pattern, like waltzes, right? 1, 2, 3. You do not go across your body. You go down on 1 again, out on 2, and up on 3. And then a 2 pattern. 1, 2. It's like a J. 1, 2, out, and up. And those people, again, who have been at band camp know that I've used this word ictus. Ictus, and we say it's not icky, I know that sounds a little weird, but ictus is that instant or that moment where there is the beat happens. So there's time in between beat 1 and beat 2, beat 3, or beat 4. But the instant or the moment the beat happens, that's the ictus. And so when you're conducting, now I'm going to conduct at you as if you're in the band, 2, 3, and 4. If you noticed, there was a little bit of a flick. If you put a piece of paper at the end of your pencil, you can see it kind of bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I do when I'm especially conducting at our level is to make it really, really clear for you as a performer to be able to see that beat. If you ever watch professional musicians, orchestras and that, you may not see that as obvious. It's much possibly more flowing, or sometimes there are ways to conduct that. Conductors just let the band think and feel the beat together, and they'll just kind of just move their hands with the, possibly sometimes with or without a baton. And so that beat is not going to be shown as that distinct pattern with the ictus. But there's no one wrong or right way of doing that. Whatever works for you and your ensembles. All right, so we've covered finding a baton, making sure that it works for you, knowing the beat patterns, making sure you're showing the ictus. Next thing I told you we'd talk about is the score. I'm going to get in a little closer on this, and you're going to see, of course, this is Star Wars. This is the front part of any score that you would see that a conductor has. And it's more like a booklet. It's pretty thick. You can see how the thickness. And it shows the conductor all the different parts that have been produced for this particular piece of music. And they do it in what we call score order. We call that, it starts with the highest instrument, and it proceeds all the way to the lowest instrument and then percussion. So it starts with, it has, this particular piece of music includes one conductor score, a piccolo part, flutes, 1 and 2, oboes, bassoons, first, second, and third clarinets, bass clarinet, and so forth and so on. Those are your woodwinds through the bari sax. Then they start with the trumpets, which is the brass then, the brass section, and moves on down to the low brass. Then here's the percussion. And then there's what we call world parts that we typically don't use in our, here in the United States right now. These are designed for other types of bands where they use E-flat horns and different kinds of instrumentation that reach different clefs. Well, then we move into the next page, and you're going to see sometimes a little bit about the piece, program notes so that you can use it and get more familiar with what you're playing, and then talk sometimes about the composer. But this is the page I want you to see. This is what 1, 2, 3, 4 measures look like. This is what 4 measures look like to a conductor. Again, in score order, starting from the highest to the lowest with percussion on the bottom. There's even down here a piano synthesizer part, you can see that. Anyway, you can see who starts on beat 1, who is still resting, who comes in on the second measure, and so on and so forth. And so for every 4, you can see it gets busy. So what you as a conductor need to do is keep track. And it isn't just your, let's say it isn't just turning pages, but a good conductor generally has a chance to get to know almost everybody's part. Yes, I know, I just said everybody's part. Just so that you have an understanding of who has the solos when, who has the important parts, who doesn't, who might need help knowing when to cue to bring them in. So, and we didn't even get into that. This starts a whole nother discussion about conducting and learning about the score. So I hope I've piqued a little bit of your interest. Go ahead, go find a pencil or create, if you've got some dowels at home, you could create with a little bit of clay at the end to make your own baton. Have fun, rewatch this recording, and go find some music. And try to conduct, first of all, find out if it's in 4 or 3 or 2, and then go ahead and conduct and have fun. Maybe you could even post that on our webpage with all the other pictures and posts as well. So have fun, have a great rest of your band camp week experience. We're looking forward to seeing you, posting things, and seeing you on some of our Zoom meetings. God bless.